Might have to line it up again.
Okay.
Remember, it's this thing.
Yeah, yeah. Any kiss.
I just stole a kiss from the wife. Woo! So somebody's just tried to ring me and that interrupted the feed, so sorry about that.
Right, you're back in the room.
I'm back in the room. Anyway, third time is a charm. So this is, you know, never give up. Never give up.
This is live for you.
This is, yeah, see, this is live. This is what happens when it's live. So, I'm just getting an old hot noodle pot. So, I can just daub it in the mortise spiral and then feel for these heavier inclusions. Oh, there's just one there. That's pretty cool. So I can just apply the rest now by cloth. Move that so I don't knock it down. So I hope we're all having fun, because I am. So we work this into the whole surface, being careful just to run your fingers close to that edge. I don't want to remove any of that paint that we've applied, that stain, sorry. So that'll flash off in just a second. So for you guys that can see, that should have brought out some colour now and a bit of life. D-nib. Excuse me. And then get a good dollop on. La 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 la. Feeling my way around. Feeling, listening, touching. Getting lots of information and feedback. So it's always reinforcing the mental images that I've got. But I've done this design quite a few times now. So that's all well and good. It only takes, you know, a few goes this far on in life as being a blind guy. It only takes a few goes now for me to get something pretty much nailed down in the head. Again, we're going to denib. That should do. So everybody knows what time it is. Woo! So that's the superfine, and that's the stronger smell to me, the original. So
I think you're frozen again. Oh no, no, you're okay. It's going.
Am I okay?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's going. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm okay here. Has it sorted itself out? Yeah.
So I'm rubbing this in by hand first. Keeping the speed low. We can get this worked in. I'm not going to put any Yorkshire Great big dollops of it in that spiral. We'll just use a bit of residue that's on the tissue. So now that it had worked in and worked in at a slow speed and not flung off everywhere, we've upped the speed a little bit and we're continuing to work it in. Moving all the time. I can hear the tissue just clicking over that inclusion, which is important for me, because if I was to get a bit too close, you could even, you know, get a fingernail in that, you know, and it could be painful, or even break a nail. So even listening to that is important. So I've just upped the speed a fair bit there now. And I'm sure as I'm hitting that textured edge a little bit, it's shredding the paper, but that's not going to do any damage. That should be cool at that. So, get rid of that. Chuck the paper on the floor for speed. On with the superfine.
MP Sniper said, I didn't get why that clicking does matter.
Well, it matters to me because that clicking lets me know that there's an inclusion or a defect or a split or a knot in the work. So obviously, because I can't see where my hands are in relation to the work, that's letting me know that there is something there. Because if you were to accidentally get your thumb in there, because it feels quite deep.
Yeah, it's quite a big one.
If I was to get my thumb in there, or a thumbnail or a finger, you know, it could hurt, be not dangerous, but you know, could cause a bit of an injury. So, you know, when I hear things like that, I'm not just thinking, oh, it's a click. I'm thinking, I just need to be a bit more prudent there.
Steve said, do you have difficulties with finishing products getting into holes and crevices of the bow? Do you rely on Nicola to tell you? Well, the answer to the last question is no. I never get involved in that.
No, and if for getting into nooks and crevices on burls, I'll use a brush and you know dab, get the sanding sealer in there, and at least it has got some form of protection and finish in there. You don't want globs of Yorkshire grit in there or loads of paste wax, you know, so get the sanding sealer in there and that should be fine. And then the friction polish, you don't want anything in there that would be a contrasting colour, like a build-up of a wax would leave a white contrasting glob, so you don't want that. And then of course there is always the final option, which is to pick the defects out with a probe tool or a cocktail stick. There's always that. So that's that. The hand slips off. Friction polish.
Well, that looks nice. That is lovely.
So this is
JP says use a compressor to blow it out.
well, yeah, you can use a compressor. Who said that?
JP, Jamie.
JP.
That's really lovely grain.
Oh,
Very nice.
get some friction polish on now. So yeah, there's quite a few ways that you can get crud out of nooks and crannies. High pressure air, probe tools, cocktail sticks. So getting some friction polish on this now, on this outside, and then what I will do is I'll apply the gilt cream to the outside rim by finger. And then we'll be ready to flip her around and hollow out. So 2 coats of friction polish. Remember, less is more with friction polish. What?
Chris wants to be careful. He's going to get good at this turning lark if he ain't careful.
Who's that?
Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie. Is a well, I think he might still be alive. There's a famous Japanese classical musician who's still playing the cello into his 90s, and someone asked him at an interview, why do you still play in your 90s, and he said, because I haven't mastered it yet. That'll, that's it really. I think that sums it up. Right, so what we're going for here, the usual. Should we go for a copper colour?
Yeah,
that's what I had in my mind before.
Yeah.
So I've got here now some copper gilt cream. So a tip from Nick Agar is get it onto your index finger, rub it between your index finger and your thumb, and then your middle finger. What we're doing is trying to get rid of any bumps. And we're applying it gently around the textured rim. So it's almost a dry brushing technique, but with your finger. So again, less is more. And it'll take quite a few passes to build the depth of colour and lustre that you're really going for. So,
Yeah, that's good.
sorry?
It's looking good, that.
So whatever period is your favourite of ancient history, Roman, Greek, Viking. This would probably look very, very at home in any of those time periods, I think. So as you're applying it and going round, you'll actually feel, well, this is my point of reference, I feel that the wax is building up
YouTube, new from Fab, Mongrel 50,
attachment, a certain thickness, a certain amount of build up. It's like bulling your boots in the army. You're applying wax upon wax upon wax, rubbing it in with your fingertip and water. And again, with all finishing, you guys know this by now, do not be greedy for finish. Don't rush this. You know, don't just put a big snot of wax or cream, building it up in layers. Ultimately, we want to be masking most of that base colour, but not in one go. How's that looking, Nicola?
YouTube. 1 minute ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
And in some ways you want probably a bit more than you need, because when we come to buff it later, it should have set up, but it probably will remove some.
How much time does it get to dry out?
Till the end of the project. I'll flip this over in a minute, put it on the chuck, hollow the bowl out, so it feels like I'm pretty much there now. Underneath my fingers it does begin to feel waxy and smooth. How's that looking?
No, it's really good. I think it was the right colour to use.
So what I'm going to do now is just throw that on the floor.
Put it on the floor.
Welcome to the Blind Woodturner's Workshop. That's when you're blind, you're like, where is it? I'm sure it's there. Is it there? Is it? Well, there it was. So that's
YouTube. 3 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
It really wants to tell you that.
yeah. So
Sack the juggler, yeah.
so yeah, that's how I. But sometimes you can be doing that when you try to find a cup of tea and you end up smashing it, or you try to find your dinner or a glass of drink or wine, and sometimes it's too late when I actually find it. That's just what happened there. I was trying to feel for where it was and then just pushed it off. So I'm just cleaning my hands, so when I take this off in a moment, I'm not going to get guilt cream in areas where I don't really want it. So I'm just going to lock the spindle. Is this the right one? Yeah. So I'm just easing back those grub screws. Feel for the other. So that's cool. So there you go. Now hold the works securely and spin the hand wheel, and that way you're not grubby hands going all over.
Oh, that's very nice.
So I'm just feeling now for my what are these called? Drills. So I need to just feel now for the screws. So I just move the bit around, and when it's found the screw, it just obviously falls into it.
YouTube. 5 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab.
Oh,
Mongrel
pack it in.
50.
What do they like?
I don't know why it's doing it so many times.
Oh,
It's nice.
yeah. So get rid of face plates, put that somewhere safe. Now I've got the chuck here and I'm just going to give it a blast off with my air. Chuck goes back on. And as I've said before, let's give these jaws a clean, because the underside of this bowl is finished now. It's a finished item, it's a done deal. So we don't want any foreign bodies on this chuck or on the jaws to damage the work. So we need to close these jaws up. So obviously I just need the one.
Have you given the voice on your
6
phone
minutes
a name?
ago. New from Urge Fab.
I think you
Mongrel
should
50.
just call it annoying. 'Cause it's just
No, it's just
repetitive.
Siri.
Yeah.
But at the moment I could call it a few things. Keep chirping up.
It doesn't usually do.
YouTube. 7 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab.
do this,
Mongrel
does it?
50.
Honestly.
I don't know why it's doing it so much.
So be careful. Don't be going too tight into your mortise. You might crack it. And then what we need to do, start it up slow. Keep yourself away from the piece just in case it makes a bid for freedom. And I'm listening out for any knocks, wobbles, strange sounds that would indicate a problem. That sounds good to me. So we can start hollowing out really, folks, now. So let's just check that. So I'm checking roughly with my finger that it's approximately
YouTube. 8 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
I'm loath to touch anything on the screen in case it interrupts
Yeah.
the feed. So what I need to do is check. Obviously there's a center point that I'm not feeling, so I'm guessing I'm too high. So if I drop the tool rest now, there you go, I'm in that center point. So I could do with a few extra pairs of hands. Really, being a blind woodturner, but we make do. So just face this off now.
YouTube. 9 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
So just actually while I think on, let me just lock this chuck to the spindle using the 3 rub screws. Safety first, folks. So now I've just give that a quick facing off, so I can feel now for where I'm going to roughly give it a groove for the rim. So that is my tactile reference point for the hollowing out. So off we go. So I'm also going to start, in it because it's not a very deep bowl, employing the depth gauge as well. So let's get to some hollowing out here. Let it come up to speed. centre pip of doom. Nice and slowly. La la la, come on. So, stop there now.
Si says, how thin can the rim be before it could be unsafe to turn? Jamie said, so you can see light through it, almost paper thin. Leona said 2 mil or less if you're super brave.
Yes, the inclusions here on the inside are even more pronounced. Yes, exactly. I've moved the tool rest in as well a bit now, so I can tell I've still got plenty to go there.
New from Earth's phone.
And of course you can tell by sound. So let's do my first depth check. Remembering to make sure there's nothing on that bed, especially against the headstock, that will affect the register. Meh. So about 3/4 of an inch left before it would become a funnel. So a fair way yet. Just have a little feel there for wall thickness. Still okay for wall thickness. So we are safe to proceed. Move that tool rest in a little bit. While it's stopped as well, I always just periodically just check for the integrity of the piece in the jaws, and that's feeling fine. We shall resume. Make sure it's the right. Just turn it up a tad. Some harmonics there now. So obviously that is another way you can tell that things are getting thinner. It starts to hum.
YouTube. 17 minutes ago. New from Urge Firm.
New from
Model
Urge Firm.
50.
So let's have another check. About 1/4 of an inch. That's let's carry on. It's gonna start taking lighter cuts now, really.
Minutes ago. New from Urge
And I can just feel where there are little steps in that curve. So it's getting to the point now where I need to be thinking about finishing cuts, because we're down to only yay much. So it is quite thin and delicate. The top rim now, I've left enough there just to get a tiny little bit of colour on it. So it's all very good. Just make sure it was foul in there a little sec. So I did have this before. There we go. So that feels good. So I'm pretty happy at that. There's an awful lot of character and stuff going on.
YouTube. 21 minutes ago. New from Urge Firm. Mongrel 50.
I'm losing the will to live. That keeps chirping up. Don't touch anything.
I'm not going to. It's just stuck at the top of the screen.
So we'll apply some of this wax again. after you guys have finished watching me, I strongly advise you go away and have a nice double gin and tonic or a Guinness.
They can have a gin and tonic now.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, or a wine or a whiskey, whatever your poison is. You deserve it. So, I had a piece of wood before.
YouTube. 22 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
So, we're standing it now with the oil on.
YouTube. 23 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
So exactly the same procedure as we employed on the outside. Sanding slowly, methodically, don't want to burn anything. Have a feel at that. Feeling nice.
YouTube. 24 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
Honestly, what's that like now? Are they still there?
Yeah. Steve's, what did he call it? Split personalities on as well now.
Who's that?
Dorja. They've got their own account.
What does that mean?
Well,
Dor-
like you've got the blind woodturner.
Alright.
Dorja's got an account as well, and they're in the chat.
Alright. Dodgy.
YouTube. 25 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
So this is 180. And again, in a minute, I'm going to just apply some colour with the airbrush to the top rim. And then if there's any overspray, the 240, we'll get rid of that.
YouTube. 26 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
Bit of reverse sanding. Give it a dust. That's amazing, that. There, how wafer thin that is.
YouTube.
On this rim,
27 minutes
where
ago.
there was an
New from Urge
inclusion
Fab.
here
Mongrel
on the
50.
outside. And that is wafer thin there. That is amazing.
You can hear the sound of it.
So, I might be best, because that really is very thin there, I might be best just applying this base colour just with my hand. Oh, it works now. So if I just get some colour in.
YouTube. 28 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
So that's cool. Get rid of that. Cool.
MP Sniper likes the sound of the wood.
Who does? MP Sniper?
Yeah, says it's such a relaxing sound.
Yeah, and we've had this discussion today, me and Tom from Radio 4, how therapeutic wood turning is. How calming. Some days you can be doing a project and you think, flipping heck, I want to sling this piece of wood straight out the back door and kick it over the fence, but 99% of the time it's very relaxing. Right, okay, so I'm going to apply sanding sealer to that now. Bearing in mind that first of all I'm going to dab in with the brush.
YouTube. 30 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
So where I can feel these inclusions, we're just working, we're just mainly here on this outer edge, making sure I've worked stuff well in there. In fact, I just remembered I need one more grit actually.
YouTube.
Acrylic
31
sanding
minutes ago.
sealer.
New
Cellulose.
from Urge Fab. Mongrel
Cellulose.
50.
Where's our next demo?
Northampton.
Next Thursday. is
Yeah. Next Thursday, Northamptonshire, Worcestershire.
it? Yeah, Thursday. It's Thursday the 18th. Ice and Neen Valley Woodturners. Wayne the Woodturner says, have a listen to some sounding bowls from Tobias K. We'll check those out.
Okay.
Makers International, we had the pleasure of interviewing Chris on the podcast. Be sure to check out episodes 240, 9 months ago, available on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes and all other fruit-based MP3 podcast players.
Yes.
I've just submitted our podcast to Spotify as well today.
32 minutes ago.
And
New from
also,
Urge Farm.
I've not done it yet,
Mongrel
but there's
50.
Google Podcast, so I might do the whole lot. The link to the podcast for Makers International is on our media page as well, so you'll find it on there. Shall we tell the viewers about our awesome new podcast?
Yes, you do that, Nicola.
Okay. On a Monday night at 7:30 p.m. UK time, we're going to be doing a podcast called At Home with the Fishers. We've done episode 1, which is live on YouTube and SoundCloud. So we'll be doing the next one next Monday. And it's just us talking about life in general, wood turning, creative stuff, being
YouTube.
blind.
33 minutes ago.
And
New
what we're
from Urge
probably
Farm.
going to do as well
Mongrel 50.
is do some interviews with perhaps some other blind people who are doing creative stuff as well. So it's not just going to end up being us talking all the time. There will be other things.
Oh, why not, Nicola?
Well, you know, we might need
No, we
to
are
talk
going.
to other people.
We are going to progress it to having guests to come and join in and, you know, share their thoughts, their feelings, what inspires them, what they like making, all that sort of good stuff. So, yeah, stay tuned, everybody. It's a lot of fun.
YouTube. 34 minutes ago. New from Urge Farm. Mongrel 50.
So, Yorkshire Grit original recipe. So I'm just going to get this well worked in.
YouTube. 35 minutes ago. New from Urge Farm. Mongrel 50.
I need a gin and tonic, listen to that. I don't know if you guys out there can hear it, but every minute it's...
Yeah, I think Steve's getting really fed up with it. He wants to kill it now.
And Urge Fab, I was listening because he does a lot of welding. So I listened to a lot of his stuff, picking up hints and tips on MIG welding. So obviously I'm getting a notification that he's just uploaded. Get some cream of guilt on this top rim. Nicola's yawning, everybody.
YouTube. 36 minutes ago.
I'm
New
yawning.
from Urge Farm.
I'm tired.
Mongrel 50.
they can hear it. Mongrel 50 is right popular with Phone Lad. It's not bothering me. I'm
YouTube.
finding it funny.
37 minutes ago.
Then
New from
again,
Urge
if
Phone.
it were happening to me on
Mongrel
my
50.
stream, it would be a different matter. On the bright side, we know when each minute goes by.
Yeah.
It was annoying for a bit. It's just now past the annoying phase to hilarious. Grandma Loves to Scuba says, I watch several different Turners, but I'm only subscribed to 2. You and Nick Zametti. Love watching you guys. Well, that's very nice.
Yeah, thank you very much, Grandma.
There are some really amazing Turners out there as well. There's some on the live chat now. So lots of other people worth checking out too. Mike Atkinson says, getting used to the little bugger. Oh, well, that's all right then. Happy days.
Yeah.
So what are you using now, Chris?
A wet wipe to get rid of the copper gilt cream on my fingers.
Oh, that wasn't quite what I meant.
No, I've just applied some copper gilt to that very top rim. So I need to now carry on with the super fine.
YouTube. 38 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
Super fine.
Greetings from Venezuela, carrying day Abra.
Whoa, greetings. Whoa, that's very exotic. Well, greetings back from the northwest of England. Not quite as exotic as Venezuela, unfortunately. But still home, I suppose. Hand applying some Yorkshire grit, super fine.
If it stopped at this point, I would miss it.
Yeah, everyone's going to be having PTSD.
39 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
And everyone's going to go away and subscribe to Urge Fab.
Yeah, do you think we're giving him some shout outs on this video?
Yeah. Yeah.
Microfine, Chris using microfine.
Yeah. I am indeed. Working it well in. Gonna up the speed of it now. Move to a clean piece of tissue. And again I can hear that little tick 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 as I'm hitting the inclusions on the inside.
YouTube. 40 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab. Mongrel 50.
Emily Ortle says, have you made anything that solved a problem at home? Maybe like something that was easy to find but because it was more tactile?
What, in general life, you mean?
Well, just she said solving a problem at home.
Thousands of times. It's part of life being blind. You continually given problems that being sighted you take for granted, but it's a big deal. And then like rubber bands come in really useful, wrapping around things to make it tactile. And a good example of it is my earphones for my iPod. Obviously I have a left and a right, so there's a bit of there's a rubber band wrapped around the right hand side earbud, so just as soon as I pick them up I can have a feel and go, oh yeah, that's the right way to go. So little things like that, if that's what you meant. But yeah, I'm always
YouTube. 41 minutes
coming up with
ago.
lots and lots of
New from Urge
ingenious
Fab. Mongrel 50.
little things to make things tactile and sensory and easy for me to distinguish. So, yeah. Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. A couple of shakes of friction polish, not too much.
Jamie says, what about your face shield? Do you have a bit of rubber bands to know that you don't put that on back to front?
Yes, Jamie, of course.
Barry says, I have the same layer, just USA version. I noticed the motor speed control not mounted to rear of headstock. I recall that it was there on yours. Where is it now?
You mean this?
It's magnetic and stuck on the back.
Yeah, I just have it there most of the time, accessible for me. But it's a great machine, love it.
Renee Layton says, hello Chris, my husband and I live in the northwest of England near Wigan. I think you're amazing. Well, guess what, Renee? We live in the northwest of England, not far from Wigan.
Yeah, well, I mentioned before that we're from the northwest.
Yeah.
Answering the guy from Venezuela.
Oh right, yeah.
So
Barry says no, the main electronics.
oh right, the inverter at the back.
Yeah.
I am just
It's on here. Let me just see if I can just drop the camera down a little bit. You can see it. Sorry, it's just going to wobble a bit. So that there.
YouTube. 4 minutes ago.
that.
New from Urge Fab.
Yeah, that's the
Mongrel
inverter,
50.
the computer gizmo. So I know it's got some buttons and a knob on it for altering things. I've not messed with them. All I'm bothered about is start, stop, forward, reverse, slow, slow, fast, faster, very fast. So, right folks, it's finished. So,
Alf Hart says hello. I live in Lee.
oh,
Up a little bit more. Okay, sorry. I can't see because of this Urge Fab notification at the top.
45 minutes ago. New from Urge Fab.
Is that
Mongrel
better?
50.
I might just stand here and then I can position the camera. I can't see the top of Chrissy's head at the minute because this notification is on the top of the screen. How are we doing with that? Is that better?
can you see that?
Yeah, that's in the middle of the screen now. My phone's lagging.
How does that
behind.
look?
It looks like, you know, the dashboard of a Ben something, that sort of thing. It's really lovely.
So there's where's it gone really thin? Let me just have a feel. There's that area there and that area there. Both where my index fingers
Yeah.
are,
26
there
minutes
was
ago.
inclusions
New
there,
from Urge Fab.
so it's gone really
Mongrel
thin.
50.
But and there's even a little split there where the inclusion has come from the inside to the outside. But you know, it feels so amazing, this piece of wood. Lots and lots going on with it.
That's very nice. It's lovely. So what we're doing with this then?
So this bowl, now it's finished, I will hand over to Mike Newman from the Speed of Sight, and hopefully he can flog it. Knowing Mike, he'll want to keep it,
He's not allowed.
but he's not allowed.
I want to keep it, but I can't keep it.
So yeah, ultimately this has got to go to Mike Newman, and he can try and flog it. And
Well, the piece of wood was given to you by Chris Stocker,
YouTube.
and he said that
47 minutes
he
ago.
wanted you to
New
turn it
from
and
Urge
then
Firm.
donate it to
Mongrel
Speed of
50.
Sight for them to raise some money.
Yeah.
So how much do we want for it, Steve? As much as possible, so that it helps somebody have a drive with Speed of Sight. If you don't know about Speed of Sight, they're a charity that Chris and I both support. We're both trustees and ambassadors, and they do driving experiences for people with disabilities. So Chris has had a drive with them, and that was the catalyst for him being involved as an ambassador and a volunteer. And they do track days at places like Three Sisters in Wigan, the Trafford Centre, all up and down the UK. And they have dual control cars like Caterhams and buggies, so that people who've got disabilities can experience driving even though they can't get a driving licence. So yeah, this is going to raise some money to support them.
yes, indeed.
Steve says next live maybe
48 minutes
auction what
ago.
you make for
New
Speed
from
of
Urge
Sight.
Firm.
Yeah, that's a great
Mongrel
idea,
50.
Steve. So so what are you doing, Chris?
I'm just, while I think on, I'm not going to. I'm just going to get some water through this airbrush. I'll clean it properly tomorrow. But rather than it just all
YouTube.
come up,
49 minutes ago.
I'll get
New
some,
from Urge Firm.
just flush it through.
Mongrel 50.
So we can keep on talking now.
So whilst Chris is doing that, has anybody got anything they'd like to ask?
What do you think of the bowl?
Everybody loves it. Amazing bowl, looks fab, love it, perfect, beautiful, amazing.
So
Would
yeah,
look nice with green apples in it. Yeah, I like that. How much does it cost for a drive? Well, for somebody who's got a disability, there's an admin fee. I think it's about £40, because it's just to make sure that people who book turn up and they value the experience. If you drive as a non-disabled person, able-bodied, then it's about £100. I think, well, actually, I think it's maybe a bit more now than £100. So what they do, they get corporates as well to book a driving experience as part of a team building day, something like that. So they pay £100+, and they also pay for the disabled person. So it's about sharing that experience and seeing what people with disabilities have to cope with, but also seeing how much the disabled people inspire. We see lots and lots of people come who have profound disabilities, but they're the most amazing people you can ever hope to meet.
just like me.
There's a lady who's got cerebral palsy. She's in a wheelchair. She has 2 carers. She needs 24-hour care. But she sails. She does music. She goes out pub crawling,
booze cruises.
Yeah, she does all sorts. She is just amazing, and she's had umpteen drives, and she just loves it. And she can't, when she's actually in the car, she can't even really keep herself upright. So sometimes when she comes back from the track, she's actually leaning against the drive, obviously strapped in, but she's kind of slumped over a bit towards the left. But yeah, she's been back countless times, and she's an ambassador as well for Speed of Sight. Anyway, let me read these comments.
Mongrel 50.
So that was that one. Yeah, we should definitely do an auction for Speed of Sight. Lynda.com for classes on YouTube and video making tips. No need to reply, just for future reference. Thank you very much. Why are your horseshoes upside bloody down? Well, it's just they don't really hang up if you put them the other way. Wow, looks amazing, very talented. Horses are upside down so they don't collect bad luck. I know many able-bodied people not do for themselves or others the amount you all do. In Ireland we have them the right way up to keep the luck in. Do you live by Wigan? I was born there in Billinge. We're near Chorley.
We're 20 miles up the M6.
Yeah,
from
we're not far from
20
Wigan.
minutes
20
rather.
minutes, yeah.
Yeah, just 20 minutes from Wigan.
53 minutes ago. New from Urge
But
Farm.
I'm
Mongrel
born
50.
and raised in Eccles, Salford. And then I met Nicola and moved up to Chorley.
Yeah, that's where they make the Chorley cakes.
Indeed.
So, I think that's it really.
That's it. So let me just hold this bowl up again. So there you go. It's a very punky, has to be said, piece of Chilean laurel burl from Chris Stocker. It's done in the Nicola style with the textured power carved, coloured and gilded rim to give it a, you know, me and my Viking heritage and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it works for me on so many levels, that design. So it's
YouTube. 54 minutes ago. New
so
from
yeah, it's
Urge
got a lot of
Farm.
character.
Mongrel 50.
It's beautiful.
But from a wood standpoint, I know you guys say the grain is beautiful and the burl, but very punky, very dusty, lots of tear out, and but yeah, I've done my best with it, folks. So yeah, it's lots of fun. Been great hanging out with you again.
So, are we saying good night then for now?
We're going to say good night for now, everybody. Thank you all so very much for your support, your ongoing support. You know that I count you all as very dear friends. So until the next time you'll be hearing from us is next Monday
For our lovely podcast.
for our lovely podcast.
55 minutes
So that's
ago.
epic. Thank you
New
so
from
very
Urge
much.
Farm.
Hope to speak to you all soon. Meet you at Maker Central. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so very much.
And thanks to Urch Fab and
Yeah, thank
Mongrel
you.
50.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut him down now.
YouTube. 55